Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Now, many times when we start working on GTM strategies, be it creating our ICP, defining product use cases, or doing computer analysis, everything seems to be a bit scattered. Some things are in a Google Sheet, some things in an email thread, or some in another random document. And because nothing is truly connected, the GTM strategy often ends up being incomplete or inaccurate. In this video, I'll show you how we can use a tool called as Octave to bring all of this into one place and how to make your GTM strategy much more structured and effective. Now, when we log into Octave, the first thing that we see are these three sections that we have to work on. There are the library elements, there is the playbook, and then there are the agents. We'll first start with the library elements. Now, the library elements are everything that we need to know or we need to keep in one place about our company, about the product, about the personas, and other aspects as well. The first thing when you actually log into it is it takes all of these details right from your company website. So all you have to do is just add in your company website and it gives all the details to you. So in this case, I've added our company profile. It has created that into an offering that's a product. So when I click on the product, I can see that what all things it has considered. So it has taken into consideration the description, the differentiated value that my service offers, what is the status quo. It even explains what are the benefits, the challenges that are faced. So over here, if this is something that is generated by AI and I want to solve for this or I want to refine this much better, then I can obviously add my inputs. But at the same time, if I want to go ahead with this, I can go forward. When it comes to qualification questions, it has even given us samples of those. And in terms of the different elements, what all things has it considered is it has considered and given us personas, use cases, segments, the reference customers. This is something that I've added manually. We can even add proof points and our competitors for much more refined ICP or persona or GTM strategy creation. Now, this is the first thing wherein we have, say, all our content, all our details mentioned over here or elements in one single place. Let's quickly dive into how it defines personas. So when it comes to personas, we have often seen that when we are targeting a group of designations or a department, then there are different pain points, different buying triggers for these audiences, and that also needs to be defined. And that's exactly what Octave has helped us create, wherein it has highlighted the pain points, their concerns, why a particular service or a product matters to them, and why they matter to us as well. And at the same time, one of the most interesting thing it's done, it has classified that for this particular persona, what are the designations that can be targeted. Now, if you see on LinkedIn, say if that's one particular source from which we're able to get the prospect data, a lot of people write their designation in their own way. And having a bucket of all of those designations or variations of those keywords helps us in terms of maximizing the results that we want to target. So that is how this particular persona section helps us in defining it. And the way it is presented, it becomes very much neat for us to keep a track of things. So that was about the library. Moving forward comes the playbook. Now, what is a playbook? A playbook is a way wherein we are targeting a specific segment of our audience and creating a complete playbook as to what things do we need to do. So as you can see over here, we have the description of the playbook. We have the summary as to what this playbook does along with the key insights. We are defining the value proposition over here for every single persona as to if it's a chief revenue officer, then what is the value proposition that we can give to them. When it comes to the qualifying questions, for us to qualify a prospect, we can check all of these questions. And at the same time, there are other elements to it as well. Now, the most interesting thing is the reason why we are defining the qualifiers is so that we can move to the third part, that is building of the agents, which helps us in multiple things from qualification, enrichment to outreach. But let's quickly just come back over here and see what all things are covered in the playbook. Now, many times there might be situations wherein, say, I have defined whom is it that I want to reach out to, and we target or we reach out to that person, but it turns out that the person does not have a requirement for our product or services. Now, this might happen, one, because there is a fitment gap. Second, is the person doesn't have a need or has an alternative solution to it. So keeping all of these things in mind, what we can also do is we can define more questions for qualifying and disqualifying a particular prospect or a particular account. Finally, when I come back to the agent section, so this is wherein it has built 7 agents for me, considering what use case am I following in, right from a sequence agent. So when I click on the sequence agent, what it has done is it has a very simple workflow wherein we can connect or deploy our agent across multiple tools, be it Play, N10 or other platforms. And it has even given me the entire configuration. So if I see the configuration over here, I can define the tone, whether I want it to be a casual tone, a neutral or a formal tone. I can ensure that who is it that is going to be reading my particular email. So if I want to keep it professional, I can do that. In terms of the ICP context, it directly fetches from the library. And at the same time, when we speak about the writing style, so many times what you've seen is with AI coming into the picture, a lot of emails, when you read them, you feel that no, this is an AI generated email. And that's where even if your open rate is good on emails, but your response rate dips. So what Octave offers is you can add training examples based on which the agent can be trained to mimic your own voice or your own tone. So in these training examples that say step 1, 2, 3, 4, we can give 4 examples of how we personally draft an email. And it takes that as a sample to then further create emails or create the outreach that is as per your own tone. So that is exactly how it looks like. And when we talk about the test input, so let's take, for example, I've put in this as a test input and I want to run a test. Okay. So immediately what it does is it goes through that entire flow. It creates the output in a way that is resonating to what that particular prospect's professional history is, what that particular professional's background is, their pain points are as per the persona that we have built. It matches with the value proposition and then drafts it. So as you can see, it's finally ready. And I have the product classification done. And I have a complete email sequence of 4 steps created. So this is how you can build an entire end-to-end sequence for specific prospects, and this you can run automatically in the background for you to do the job. Next, moving on to the other agents, there are the enrichment agents wherein we can enrich a particular company or a particular prospect by simply putting in a test use case. Again, in terms of enrichment, what all things does it do is it checks across the product, the playbook, the research that we have done, and then gives us a complete output. But the most interesting agent that I found over here is the qualification agent, wherein if I want to qualify a particular company or an account, say I have a list of 1,000 accounts, and if I want to qualify them, what do I need to do is I just need to add, say, a test over here. So I've selected this company as a test, but before that, it has a prospector through which we can use different filters similar to what we use in, say, LinkedIn Sales Navigator or on LinkedIn or on the other tools like Apollo. We can put in those filters and then we can get. But manually putting that again after I have already defined who my target audience is in the library, it's sort of a hassle. So what they have offered over here is the smart search, wherein I can select a playbook. That is, say, my playbook that I had already created. And based on that, it gives me persona wise what are the companies that I can target. So it creates the filters all for me to then work on and select. So in this case, say, for example, I'm selecting this company. Okay. And I'm running the test. So what is it going to do after running the test is it's going to analyze all the data of that company that is available and see if it's a potential fit or not based on the playbook that I had already added. So it matches with the ICP, it qualifies it, and finally I have my company details. So I have the company details, I have the product qualification, segment qualification, playbook qualification, and it gives me a rating that, okay, how much out of 10 should I approach? So if it's 8 out of 10, 9 on 10, then that becomes much more relevant for me to approach and then pitch about my services. So this is how Octave actually helps as a complete end-to-end AI platform that consolidates all of our elements related to our product, use cases, personas, ICP, and more It helps us in creating a playbook around who is it that we want to target, and then further creates agents that we can use for qualification, enrichment, and outreach. So this was about it, about how you can use Octave as your GTM AI to get everything done in a single place. If you found this useful, please do like and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. And thank you so much for watching this one.